Failure isn't a mystery, it's a habit. It forms in the unnoticed corners of your day, when you trade strength for comfort and call it kindness, humility, or balance. As Machiavelli understood, the people who lose in life don't fall all at once. They shrink, inch by inch, in silence. They overexplain themselves. They wait for permission. They lower their standards to be liked. These aren't harmless choices. They are self-imposed chains. Every time you compromise out of fear of disapproval, you tighten the grip of mediocrity around your own neck. Most people never break out, not because they're unlucky, but because their losing habits are dressed up as virtues. They believe being good will protect them. They believe being liked will lead to success. But the brutal psychological truth is this: the world doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards control. Niccolo Machiavelli didn't write for the soft-hearted. He wrote for the perceptive. He saw life not as a fair playground, but as a ruthless arena where weakness is exposed and punished. His famous warning, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both," wasn't a call to cruelty. It was a call to strength. Because love without boundaries turns into exploitation. When you let people walk over you once, they never stop. In a world that runs on power dynamics, trying to be universally liked is psychological suicide. Decision number 1. The cost of overexposure. The first fatal decision weak men make is overexposure, revealing too much too soon to people who haven't earned access. You think you're being authentic, vulnerable, transparent, but what you're really doing is flooding the room with your value before anyone's even proven they deserve it. You share your pain, your past, your thoughts, your weaknesses, all in the name of connection. But connection built on unchecked access dies quickly. Because in human psychology, desire isn't born from openness, it's born from a distance. What's rare is respected. What's always available is ignored. You've been told to be real and lay it all out. But ask yourself, do you truly value what's handed to you for free? Neither does anyone else. That's why the man who overexplains, overshares, and overtexts isn't seen as admirable. He's seen as needy. Meanwhile, the man who speaks less and watches more commands curiosity. He doesn't reveal out of insecurity. He reveals by design. He knows that mystery isn't about hiding something shameful. It's about protecting something valuable. As Machiavelli warned, he who offers himself is never won over, and he who is never won over is never desired. If you make yourself too available, you transform from a prize to a guarantee, and nobody chases a guarantee. They expect it, then they forget it. You've confused generosity with self-abandonment. You believed openness would earn you admiration, but all it earned was invisibility. The hard truth? People don't respect what they didn't work for. The game doesn't reward emotional sacrifice. It rewards strategic restraint. So before you open up, test. Before you trust, observe. Before you speak, measure. Loyalty isn't something people claim in conversation. It's something they prove through consistency, time, and boundaries. Decision number 2. Waiting for permission is self-betrayal. The second fatal mistake of weak men is waiting for approval, for signs, for the right moment. But in the real world, the moment doesn't come. It's taken. While losers hesitate and hope, Leaders move. They don't ask for permission, they declare their intention. Every time you pause out of fear, you broadcast a message, I don't trust myself. And if you don't trust yourself, why would anyone else? You've been conditioned to think hesitation is patience and that waiting shows wisdom. But most of the time, it's not wisdom. It's fear in disguise. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen, judged, or standing alone. Machiavelli saw it clearly. It is much safer to be feared than loved when you must choose between the two. Not because fear is ideal, but because it commands respect without delay. The man who waits to be chosen becomes invisible. The man who moves, flawed, fast, and unapologetic, creates the outcome. In a world addicted to hesitation, speed is a form of dominance. So act. Speak first. Ask boldly. Walk away when you need to without flinching. It's not recklessness. It's psychological power. The ones who move first write the rules. The ones who wait live by them. Decision number 3. Chasing approval is a silent surrender. Approval is the drug that keeps weak men compliant. Most don't even see how deep the addiction runs. They shape their lives around being liked, dressing for validation, speaking for applause, shrinking their truth to protect others from discomfort. It feels polite, even noble, but in reality, it's self-imposed slavery. While you're busy managing impressions, others are claiming power. While you seek to be agreeable, others are rewriting the rules, unapologetically. The man who needs to be liked will never lead, because leadership, at its core, demands the courage to be misunderstood. Machiavelli grasped this truth long before modern psychology caught up. To be respected, you must be willing to be disliked. Not because you crave conflict, but because truth rarely wins popularity contests. It wins power. You can't build anything meaningful if you're afraid to offend. You can't influence anyone if your words are diluted by a fear of judgment. So next time you feel the urge to justify yourself, to explain your intentions, or to clear the air, don't. Let them misunderstand. Let them gossip. Let them assume. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be remembered. Decision number 4. Overcaring is a weapon turned against you. This one cuts deep. You care too much about people who wouldn't blink if you disappeared. Your empathy is wide open, unfiltered, and easily exploited. You confuse kindness with character, when often it's just submission in disguise. You give second chances to people who showed you who they were the first time. You suffer in silence, hoping your pain earns you loyalty or that your sacrifice will finally be recognized. But Machiavelli didn't buy into that illusion. He warned, men forget more easily the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. In simple terms, people value what serves them, not what suffers for them. Your pain won't earn you respect. Your goodness won't guarantee love. The world doesn't repay loyalty with loyalty. It repays value with value. And too often, your overcaring becomes a drain that weakens your vision, your energy, and your power. So stop trying to fix people who thrive on chaos. Stop bleeding for those who only take. You're not here to be everyone's therapist. You're here to build something unshakable. Start asking harder questions. Is this person contributing to my mission or distracting me from it? Compassion isn't infinite, and it's not owed, especially to those who confuse your tolerance with weakness. Draw the line, or they will bury you in their problems. Decision number 5. Ignoring your instinct is self-betrayal. You sensed something was wrong, but you stayed. You knew they were using you, but you gave more anyway. You had a gut feeling warning you, but you buried it beneath logic, politeness, or false hope. This isn't virtue. It's self-betrayal. Weak men silence their instincts because they don't trust their own inner voice. They outsource decisions, hunt for proof, and wait for others to confirm what their gut already told them. But instincts are primal, older than reason, faster than thought, and brutally honest. Every time you override your instincts, you trade your natural edge for hesitation and doubt. You become prey in a world full of predators. Machiavelli's wisdom wasn't meant for the timid. It's for those who hunt. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Be both. Trust your senses. Act on feeling, because survival and dominance belong to those who listen to what the mind can't always explain. Decision number 6. Playing small to be loved. The silent killer of ambition. This is the most dangerous decision because it hides in plain sight. It's the quiet act of dimming your light, lowering your standards, and shrinking your presence, all so that others feel comfortable around you. You tell yourself it's humility. You convince yourself that making others feel safe is noble, but in reality, it's fear disguised as virtue. Fear that your true power will intimidate those around you. Fear that if you fully step into your greatness, you'll become too much, too intense, too confident, too dominant, and people will distance themselves. So, you hold back. You downplay your wins. You play small, hoping to be liked rather than feared, accepted rather than respected. But here's the brutal truth that many refuse to face. If your rise unsettles or threatens those around you, they were never meant to walk alongside you. True allies want to grow with you, not drag you down. Those who can't handle your ascent will fall away, and that's their loss, not yours. Your greatness is not a threat to be managed. It's a force to be unleashed. You weren't born to fit in, to blend into the crowd, or to settle for the status quo. You were born to disrupt, to dominate, to build something bigger than yourself and command the space you deserve. This decision to play small is a death sentence for your ambition because it kills momentum, suffocates potential, and breeds resentment. It's the quiet self-sabotage that turns winners into followers and leaders into shadows. You might fool others with your modesty, but you're the one trapped in a cage of your own making. Machiavelli didn't admire those who faded into the background. His entire philosophy revolved around boldness, audacity, and ruthless clarity. To him, ruling required courage, the courage to stand out, to be seen, and to be unapologetically powerful. He knew that those who blend in are forgotten, but those who rule boldly are remembered forever. So ask yourself, are you shrinking to make others comfortable? Or are you ready to claim your rightful place as a force to be reckoned with? Remember, humility without strength is submission, but strength combined with awareness, that is true power. Every failure you faced, every message left unanswered, every moment you were overlooked, used, or forgotten, it wasn't random chance or bad luck. It was a choice. A series of small, silent decisions. Playing small instead of standing tall, revealing too much too soon, waiting for permission instead of seizing the moment, giving more than you should, caring too deeply for those who don't deserve it, and ignoring the instinct screaming inside you. Now that you see the pattern, the question is no longer about why you fail, it's about what you will do next. Will you keep choosing like someone who's destined to lose? Or will you start moving like a man who understands the real nature of power? Because power is never handed over freely. It's always taken. The choice is yours.